Mr. Tunstall.
Hey, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Sean,
Yes.
when they say this meeting is being recorded, is that like, are we supposed to be recorded?
It's streaming live on our YouTube page for anybody that wants to view the meeting.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, being recorded. Okay,
Right.
I'm good.
Okay. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the special voting meeting of August 6th, 2020 for the Shale Area School District. We'll begin the meeting with the recognition of the public if they'd like to speak on any agenda-related items. Hearing none, we'll call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
To the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Ludwig, when you're ready.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Mr. Tunstall. Mrs. Donahue?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Fisher?
Present.
Mr. Gavsky?
Here.
Dr. Krakowski?
Present.
Mr. Majewski?
Here.
Mrs. Petrovich?
Present.
Mrs. Phillips?
Here.
Mr. Romack? Mr. Romack? Mr. Tunstall?
Here.
8 in attendance.
Okay. Can I have a motion and a second to suspend any applicable Shale Area School District policies in order to authorize the conduct of the special voting meeting of the Board of School Directors via telephone conference in consideration of the public health concerns and the governmental directives arising from the COVID-19 pandemic. Notice of such action, along with the information as to how members of the public may access the telephone conference meeting, previously was posted at the district administration office and on the district website.
So move.
Second,
Was that a motion by Mr. Gapsky and second by Ms. Petrovich, I believe?
Donahue.
Ms. Donahue. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So ordered. Motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Kukowski and second by Ms. Petrovich, is that?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
And we'll move to the agenda with the education agenda, Dr. Oblak.
Thank you, Mr.
Are we sure Steve is in the waiting room somewhere?
So, education items are
Dr. Black, we can't hear you.
Sean, are we sure Steven isn't in a waiting room somewhere?
I have a message out to him. Mr. Gapsky, I haven't heard anything back yet.
Thank you.
I don't think there's anyone in the waiting room, though.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Item A2 is to approve a resolution whereby the Board of School Directors finds and declares that the COVID-19 pandemic is an emergency within the meaning of Section 520.1 of the Pennsylvania School Code. Upon approval, the board authorizes the superintendent and directs that the resolution be sent to the Secretary of Education for approval. And item A3 is in accordance with the district's reopening plan approved September 8th, 2020 is the revised first day of school for the 2020-21 school year. A note, the board will approve a revised school calendar at the August 19th, 2020 regularly scheduled voting meeting. Those are the items recommended for the board's approval this evening.
Thanks, Dr. Black. Any questions on the education agenda items?
Mr. Tunstall?
Yes, ma'am.
So I heard from and again, I said last night I wasn't married to the 2nd or the 8th. I think this is a Mr. Aiken, Dr. Black question. I actually heard from a couple teachers today that said they would lean toward the 2nd only because, and I may be explaining this wrong, Dr. Black might have to help me. They only have X number of PD days to get in, and how the calendar is going to get moved on the backside is not going to be worth it to not start on the 2nd. Does that make sense? Like they don't need that much time because they can't get that much PD in prior to day 1 anyway. And I just wanted to share that. Again, I'm open to the start date of the will of the majority.
I can speak to that. So what they're referring to is they have a contracted number of days for professional development. So they don't just we can't have like 13 days of professional development for them before the start of the school year. I would imagine that's what they were talking about. So there is a fixed number of days per year that they have for professional development. But what I would say is the idea of moving it to the 8th not only gave them those fixed days that we have, but they also would have time on their own just to continue to prepare. So that was the other piece of it that we took into consideration, that there would be some work that they could do on their own to prepare, and not just the professional development days that are allotted for the school year and that would occur before the school year begins. Dr. Black, do you have any other consideration with that comment from Dr. Kwiatkowski?
I don't, Mr. Aiken. Again, I don't, there would be no change in professional development. The number of professional development days associated with the school calendar is that those would be just carried forward and move forward.
Well, thank you for that. I said I would share, and I just wanted to share with the group. Thank you both. Thank you, Mr. Tunstall.
No problem. Any
Mr.
other
Aiken?
questions?
Yes, Mr. Aiken,
Yes, sir.
have you talked to the Teachers Association about this? And what was their recommendation, or what was their feelings on the whole thing? I mean, we got a couple teachers saying something, but what was the entire Teachers Association? What was their feelings on this?
The association leadership was, we have had discussions with them about pushing back to the September 2nd and or September 8th. And they like the idea of the pushback, just giving more time. And I can't recall them specifying one day over the other. I think the appreciation was there, just that we were considering pushing back and giving people more time to get ready.
Mr. Gapsky, this is Craig Wells, president of the Teachers Association. I just wanted to let you know we are willing to be flexible and work with the district to create a plan that's going to be best for the kids. I don't know if we're going to add more work days and more work year, but what you guys decide, we are going to work with you holistically with, and both Mr. Aiken and Dr. O'Black, we've been working very closely throughout the past several weeks, and we are on board to work with you to give our teachers as much professional time that they need in order to offer a great educational plan for the kids.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. I just wanted to make sure you guys had a say-so in a situation, and you gave your effort and your opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your concern. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. Any other questions on the education agenda items A1 through A3?
Mr. Tunstall.
Yes, sir, Mr. Fisher.
Oh, there it is. I had a call failure, so I missed what was item A1, if you wouldn't mind repeating.
A1 is the action to approve the district's back-to-school task force report and health and safety plan per the requirements set forth by the Pennsylvania Department of Education.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to approve the education agenda items A1 through A3.
So moved.
So moved.
I think I got Ms. Phillips and Dr. Kwiatkowski.
April, yep.
And can we do a roll call vote, Ms. Ludwig?
Thank you, Mr. Tunstall. Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Gasky?
Yes.
Dr. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Mr. Majewski?
Yes.
Mrs. Petrovich?
Yes.
Mrs. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Tunstall?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Mrs. Donahue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Hey, Sheriff,
Yes. Oh, Mr. Romack, you're here.
I am here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Romack. What would be your vote, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. And I'll put you in attendance. Thank you. So
Thank
the
you.
motion carries 9-0.
Thank you. The upcoming meetings for the district will be Wednesday, August 12th, 2020. There'll be a combined committee of the whole and a voting meeting. The executive session will begin at 5 p.m. and the public session will begin at 6. And then we'll have another district voting meeting on Wednesday, August 19th. The executive session again to begin at 5 and the public session will again begin at 6 p.m. Is there any other business to come before the board? By the board?
Mr. Tunstall,
Yes, sir.
that's all virtual meetings on the 12th and the 19th, correct?
At this time, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Tunstall?
Dr. Kwiatkowski?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Aiken. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
Go ahead.
just-
I can wait.
I just wanted to clarify that meeting will begin at 7:15, so we'll push back to the regular meeting time.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Is that the 12th? It's going to be 7:15 and the 19th? Or
Yes,
is it going to be 6?
Both meetings will be 7:15 for the COW and the combined meeting.
Okay, and they will be virtual.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Before we adjourn the business meeting, I just want to take a minute to thank everyone. I want to commend the administration, the board, the teachers. There's been a lot of work that's went into this reopening plan. I know, not everyone's pleased with it, but for everyone that isn't, we find someone that is. And I think there's been a lot of hard work that's went into it. I've talked to a lot of parents that are happy. I've even talked to some that aren't. And I even, had some teachers reach out to me today and tell me the work they've been doing over the summer to prepare to get their kids to prepare their online learning and to make sure that we have a great experience moving forward. So I thank you all for doing everything that you did. I think we've worked hard and we're going to continue to push forward and we're going to hope for the best. So with that,
Mr. Tunstall,
yes, ma'am.
before you adjourn, I just would like to comment on Mr. Wells' comment. I don't think we can go without saying how imperative it is that the administration, school board, and teachers union and representation work well together. And Mr. Wells' statement is what's going to make us successful moving forward. So thank you, Mr. Wells, with you and your leadership team. And I just wanted to thank him for that. Thank you, Mr. Tunstall.
No, I absolutely agree. Thank you, Mr. Wells.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And we're here for the kids, and that's going to be our end run. We're going to work as hard as we can to make sure that these kids get an education as they always have.
Thank you.
I'll take a motion and a second to adjourn the business meeting.
So moved.
So moved.
Mr. Gapsky and Ms. Petrovich, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? All right, and we'll take any comments from the public. If we have none, it sounds like we'll adjourn the meeting.
Hello? I'm just kidding. Good night.
Dr. Black, we don't have anyone public-wise?
I do not have anybody with their hand raised, Mr. Tunstall. No.
Okay.
I don't.
No Wendy Bell? No Wendy Bell on there?
All right, then, with that said, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for your efforts. Wonder why.
Thank you, Craig.
Wonder why they
Thanks,
couldn't hear me.
Craig.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes.
They can't. I don't know how to work this. Wait a minute. Give me a minute. My phone died. I just had like.
We missed you.
You did.
You want some?
Oh, look, I could have been on there.
Hello?
Hey, Mr. Gapsky.
Are we done or what?
Yes, we are. I just thought somebody was trying to get on. We're okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay, do you guys, Sean, do you guys receive my emails today?
The email that you sent this morning?
I've been having problems with my phone, and I'm not sure if you guys are receiving my emails or texts.
I didn't get
Have
your
you-
your one text until later, but I did receive your